حي على الفلاح.
الحمد لله الكرم الذي خلق الإنسان وكرم وعلمه من البيان ما لم يعلم فسبحان الذي لا يحصى امتنانه باللسان ولا بالقلم فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وبارك وسلم وصل عليه. All praises be to Allah, the most noble one, He who created man and granted him honor and taught him the means of expression through speech, and taught man that which he did not know. Glory be to him whose favors are uncountable, not by the tongue, nor by the pen. And may the peace and blessings be unto the pride of mankind, the intercessor of sinners, the rising star of Medina, none other than our holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who was sent unto this world as Rahmah lil Alameen, a mercy unto the entire creation. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Subhanallah, mashallah. It's so beautiful to see everyone gathered around. If everyone can just come closer, so it could be easier to hear. And you will grasp, this is the way of the sunnah, that you should be closer. Don't scatter, this is for fowls. So my topic, I would like to address you on. It's a beautiful narration. First I have a question, what is love? There are so many answers to what is love. So many poetry, so many couplets. But love is with the one who created it. He is love. Allah. Allah loves everyone. So there's a little story, a narration. We can learn a lot from it. And it's like a love story. So this is the love story of Suhayla and Farook. So Suhayla and Farook, they were married together with each other for 3 months until the call of jihad was given to him and he had to leave. Now they were very romantic. They had a very good relationship. They were very pious people. But when the call of jihad came, the holy war, he had to leave because this was compulsory upon the Muslim. Now his wife, he tells his wife that I've got 3,000 dirhams. Use this money for that 3 months, I'll be back. Because you know in the war, the people will go, they'll face the challenges and so forth, and then they'll come back. So he says, deal with this, use this money for that 3 months until I'm back. So she has this 3,000 dirhams and Farouk, he leaves. 3 months has went by. 6 months has went by. 9 months has went by. Now Suhayla, she was pregnant. So after 1 year, she had given this birth to a baby boy. And she had nurtured this baby boy just like any other mother. Clothing, food, water, shelter. and education. Now, a year and a half went by. 2 years went by. 2.5 years went by. Still no sign of Farook. Then a man comes from the war. He comes and he says, I saw Farook fall in the battlefield. Now she knows that Farook is no more. He has died. So before he left, he told Suhayla that I've got this treasure chest with 30,000 dinars. Now 30,000 dinars in Trinidad currency would be approximately 20 million TT. I could be wrong. Now she has this 30,000 dinars, and he says this is a amana, a trust. So leave this. When I come back, then I'll see about this. But now she opens this treasure chest because she obeyed her husband. That's the love and the communication they had. For all these years, she obeyed her husband. She never opened this treasure chest. These 30,000 dinars in our modern time, I'm saying anyone, if they know there's a lot of money in this treasure chest, they will open it, they'll use it, right? So she opens this 30,000, she has this 30,000 dinars, and she uses it for the education of her son, whose name was Sheikh Abdul Rahman. Well, now he wasn't a sheikh before, right? He's now going for the education. Every last penny she spent on the education, on the Islamic education. And today's time, if we have 30,000 dinars, we were going to spend it, buy clothing, shoes, jewelry, shop on Amazon. But look at the piety of this woman. She used all this money on the Islamic education. So now, in the battlefield, there's a boy. He's sitting on a bridge. And this boy who's sitting on the bridge is Farook. So Farook is still alive. It was nighttime, so he was doing something called ribat. That is the person who is in charge of looking after while the army is asleep. So now he looks up and he gazes at the stars in the night. And he's feeling all romantic. Oh, this is Allah's creation, alhamdulillah, so beautiful. And then he remembers, I have a wife, a beautiful wife as well. And then he's thinking to himself, I wonder if she's died, if she's passed on, or if she has married to someone else. And these thoughts keep coming in, and it's driving him nuts. Now, Farook is a more mature man, so he takes permission from his commander in the morning. And he gets on his horse, and he rides back to Medina. And as he gets closer to Medina, his blood is pumping, his adrenaline, his love for his wife. Oh, I wonder if she's passed on or if she is married, what had happened to her. And he's speeding with this horse just as the speed of the wind. And he's very overwhelmed. When he reaches upon Medina, he jumps off his horse because he remembers the sunnah of our Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he performs 2 rakat. So the sunnah, after you go for a journey, a long journey, and you return, you perform 2 rakat. This is thankfulness towards Almighty Allah for our safety, for keeping us safe for this period of time. So now he performs 2 rakat. And then Asr Salah is coming in. So he decides to wait in the Masjid, in the Prophet Masjid. And whilst waiting there, he notices something. Scholars so many, with people gathered around them, dressed beautifully in white clothing. Oh, how times have changed. The knowledge, the ilm is so vast. The way it's spread across so easily. But then he notices one thing in particular. One person out of everyone, he shined the most. And that was Sheikh Abdul Rahman. And he's very excited to hear this person speak. Oh, his knowledge is so eloquent. The way he speaks is so vast. That was the knowledge of Sheikh Abdul Rahman. So after he performs Asr Salah, he jumps on his horse and he goes to his house. Upon reaching to his house, he sees a man opening the door. He jumps off. He's angry. He's upset. He goes to the man and he grabs him. This is my house. This is the house of Farook. What are you doing here? The people of the city, they start gathering around. And he said, leave this boy alone. This is his house. And then Farouk says, no, this is my house. And then there's an old woman. She is listening to the conversation inside of the house. This is Suhayla. She says, could this be Farouk? Is he still alive? No. Then she covers up herself and she rushes outside. And she tells the people, leave me alone, for this is Farouk, my husband. He has went in the path of Allah for 30 years and now he has returned. So the people they start to cry because it is Farouk. And he hugs her and embraces her. And they cry and they speak stories, etc. And then he remembers, oh Suhayla, there was a treasure chest. In it, 30,000 dinars. Where is this money? So she says, oh Farouk, did you perhaps go and you perform your 2 rakat after the journey? And she knows he's going to perform because they were pious people. They followed the sunnah of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, yes, I performed the 2 rakat. She says, did you notice anything different? He says, yes. The amount of ulama and knowledge and ilm, it's different now. And she says, what else did you notice in particular? He says there was this one particular person. His name was Sheikh Abdul Rahman. He stood out the best out of all of these people. And then she says, what will you do to be like him? He says, I will do anything to be like them. I'll do anything to get this type of knowledge. Then she says, will you give 30,000 dinars? He said, I would give even more, not even with a blink of an eye I'll give. She says, what if this is your son? Then I'll spend more, double the amount. And then she tells him that Sheikh Abdul Rahman is your son. And then he's excited. He starts to cry. He starts to shout, the Sheikh Abdul Rahman, my son, the greatest of ulama in Medina, my son. And then a boy walks in, which was Sheikh Abdul Rahman, and he goes to the person and he says, where is Sheikh Abdul Rahman? He says, I'm Sheikh Abdul Rahman. He grabs him and embraces him and hugs him. And he tells the people, and the people starts weeping and very emotional. Oh, this is my son, Sheikh Abdul Rahman, the greatest scholar. And then there was this one boy, a young boy, he was crying. When they were fighting, he came to part them. And this boy was none other than the greatest Imam Malik from the Maliki Madhab. So Imam Malik was the student of Sheikh Abdul Rahman. So from this story you can understand there are so many wisdom in it that in today's time and era we spend so much money in the future of our children education. We pave the road to the dunya for them, but we forget about the education, the Islamic education, the education of the akhirah. There's a saying that if you have a cup and you fill it with the love of Almighty Allah, then there will be no space left for the love of dunya. Today we spend so little amount of money towards this Islam, to give a little bit of money to the students who are studying ilm. It's so difficult for us. We look down at our scholars, our ulama. The great people, we look down at them. We have no respect for them. We spend so little bit of money. All we are doing, we're thinking about the akhirah, and then we forget about the Jannah. You know Farook, when he loved Suhayla so much that he looked back twice before he left. You know what this pious woman did? She pushed him and said, "Have you no fear in the Almighty Allah? Go fight in the battlefield." For why? Because she knew if anything used to happen to Farook, inshallah, I will meet him one day in Jannah. This is the love and the iman these people had. So from this story we understand that love one another for the sake of Almighty Allah, and hate that which is bad for the sake of Allah, and do not create jealousy and animosity amongst ourselves. We are Muslims, the best of people. We should be so happy and proud that we are the best of mankind. Allah chose us, and He chose His deen for us. So easy. We should raise the banner of Al-Islam. So I ask Almighty Allah to grant us the hidayah and the tawfiq and the understanding of Islam and the love in one another's hearts as Muslim brothers and sisters. وَمَا عَلَيَّ إِلَى الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينَ.